This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want is a great feeling. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think you could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo. Shadow Show.
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 Shadowing it.
Shadowing it.
I am genuinely thrilled right now that we have this majestic Florida Panthers historic run to talk about with former Phoenix Suns front office person Amin Hassan and former Cleveland Browns receiver
let's get into it.
Andrew Hawkins. Your team, Roy, Mike, and Chris Cody, is the best postseason thing on the road there has been over 3 years. There's no such thing as another team that's been better going into somebody else's arena and snatching away things. Carolina being good at defense and Florida not caring about that and putting up 5 and 6 goals a game in their place and making them change goalies, making their coach answer the question when he's asked, is your team fragile? He says, I don't know. Hawk, you tell me, if you're 1-31 Browns, if the coach was asked, is my team fragile? And his answer was, I don't know. How's that one going over in the locker room?
Well, first off, I wasn't a part of the 1-31 Browns in its entirety. I was a part of the 1-15 Browns.
Just half.
I was half of it.
Yeah.
And must I say the winning half of that?
Yep, the better half.
We add that in there as well.
Is there a
It is
winning?
the better half.
Yeah,
The better half.
Is there? Okay.
One season had a win, the other one didn't.
Yep.
Okay.
Doubled the win total.
Wait a
than
minute.
double.
That's not math. That's
Infinite.
right.
Yes.
You need to talk to my math friends.
Also, 6x the win total. Whatever we want to do.
Feels
we
like
could-
double.
We could throw it all on there.
Infinite amount of extra wins. Is what you
Yeah. If he said, if you asked my 1-15 coach if our team was fragile after going 1-15, and he said, I don't know, I would say thank you for saying that.
Put it on the poll, Juju, please. Does 1 feel like double of 0?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
I'll run the folks off who don't want their hockey in a second because I do.
Why?
I do want to talk about the Panthers, and there's something specific I want to talk about with the Panthers because they are better than the team that won the championship. It does not mean they will win the championship, but when I tell you they're 8-2 on the road this postseason with a plus-minus on goals of plus 27 through 10 road games, it has no precedent in the league. This is all supposed to be harder than this. And when I've told you through 3 rounds I'm scared of everybody, it's because you should be when everyone is even and you're headed into something as random as the postseason where a goalie can beat you. But what they're doing in the postseason has no precedent in being able to go on the road and just ravage people. They won the championship last year. They didn't do that. They did not do that.
Well, they didn't have to.
Well,
they had home ice.
But
This year is a little different.
no. They had to play on the road, and they were not overwhelming on the road when they had to. I ask you, Hawk, you've played in hostile places.
Yeah.
Hockey playoffs are harder on the road. No one's ever been 8-2 with a goal differential of 27. It's never happened before in all the time that ice has existed.
Wow.
I hear you, and I know what you're saying.
Hold on, that's a long time.
We need to turn our barn into a road barn. Is that what you're saying? Start booing our own players? What?
I'm saying overwhelming on the road is exactly what you want if you're a team that comes into the playoffs and isn't one of the top seeds.
You could cherry pick them being good on the road. Last year, you could cherry pick that they were good at home. They can beat you any number of ways. They can go in the mud with these teams that want to turn games into rock fights and be better at it than them. Edmonton is a bit of a concern if it is Edmonton. If you're getting into a track meet up and down the ice, Florida's speed isn't quite there. But they showed last year after they can figure those teams out too and beat them. They can. This is one of the greatest runs a franchise has had in the history of the sport. They only have one trophy to show for it. We'll see. But in the modern era, they are the fourth team to pull this off. Go to 3 consecutive Cup finals.
What are you smiling about, Amin?
They were throwing up images behind Mike of various Panthers. First of all, like Florida Panthers holding this trophy, and then other Panthers. And then one of them was a Transformer. And I don't know why this Transformer counts as a Panther.
I think it's known as a Panther. It's a Panther of some sort, is it not? It must be.
But I'm a Transformers fan. I don't remember Panther being in Transformers. Maybe I could be wrong. I could be corrected, but what?
They are robots in disguise.
They are.
I just like the idea of Chris's road barn at home. So what, do you want like one section of fans that are specifically dedicated to heckling the Panthers to try to get under their skin and make them play more like they're on the road?
I'm just with Dan. The last few weeks, this team just something happens on the road and we just got to switch something up at home. The vibes at home, they're just not the same. I'm so much more confident at my local water at the bright side watching a game on TV than I am at the barn.
Did you just want to say watering hole and got scared?
No,
Absolutely,
he wanted to
he
give
did.
somebody some shine.
Yeah, I was going to say where I was last night.
I'm with all you guys. Now seems like the perfect time to change something.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes, rambling.
That's me?
Yeah, it's you. Your local water, and then you just did a promo, an ad for, you wanted the local establishment to get some love? Yeah, you get out of here.
Dan, I just want to point out on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, the line was on Jeremy being the first penalty of the day. So anyone who bet not Jeremy, you win.
Yeah, that was 11 straight shows where I had been the first penalty. So real upset here.
It's like minus 3,000.
I had a ticket for Amin, and when he started going on that Transformer bit, I was like, I'm about to cash.
Get me the information, please, on Transformers. The thing that I wanted to get to before, though, the hockey, and I know I will run you off with the hockey, and I do not care because we have not had something this excellent around here.
Excellence is a little hockey.
Thank you.
In sports.
Come on.
He thinks he's great at everything. He is great at many things athletically, but he's obsessed with 2 things. One, he's obsessed with flag football because if I were as quick as him, I too would be obsessed with flag football. I'd want to play against everybody. But because that seat, I've accused Stugotz of having Dunning-Kruger, which is someone who believes that they are excellent at everything, even if they don't have a lot of proof that they are excellent at those things. And Hawk, at 42 years old, is telling me that he is thinking about, and he has not announced this publicly.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Now the whole world is going to know what my plans are at 42.
Would you like to tell them, or would you like me to tell them?
Well, we're already down this road now. You got to finish it out.
Also, Dunning-Kruger sounds like a middle reliever for the Royals. From like
It does.
It does.
Yeah. Off speed. Keeps you off balance. Weird wind up. Are you trying to go to the Olympics?
I didn't say I was trying to go to the Olympics. I said I think I could.
Hawk, let me tell you something. As the only person here who has any Olympic experience,
please give me some mentorship here.
It is absolutely. If you have the opportunity, you got to go for it.
You got to go for it.
What are the downside? Put all the chips in the middle of the table.
Why not?
Just give it a try.
What's the worst that happens?
You don't want to live old and graying and think, man, I could have won an Olympic medal. Yeah, and it said I got scared because the Levitar show guys were making fun of me.
That's a great point because here I will be 42. I'm not 42 now. Right now I'm 39.
Not yet.
So I'm in my 30s, my late 30s, my latest 30. I'm in my latest 30. And I don't work out very often.
You work out enough though.
But I work out enough.
And
if I feel like if I can really put the pedal to the metal, there would be a chance.
Well, surely you're not going for 42-year-old sprinter. You must be going in one of the you're not going for
flag football.
Football.
Okay.
Man.
Well,
what are you new here?
No.
You had him on the pommel horse, did you?
You think that I'm the
Winter
idiot?
Olympics?
Wait, I just want to be clear on this miscommunication.
Okay.
Cool runnings.
You guys think that I'm the idiot because he might think that he could be in the Olympics in any category.
Wow.
You think I've got that wrong in overestimating what his arrogance or confidence might be athletically?
Yes. Could be good at archery to answer your question.
Thank you.
Yes, it was very clearly flag football because we would just assume the rest of the world is going to be pretty terrible at it, and we can actually win the gold with a 42-year-old Andrew Hawkins out there being wide receiver 1.
Thank you so much. That's exactly what my thought process is.
Hawk, I have a very controversial question.
Okay,
let's just assume, because we're getting a lot of rumblings from the flag football players saying, hey.
Why are you dressed like an 80s rapper?
Well,
Can we address that
I'm
first?
a Panther.
Panther. Got it.
Panthers
That's the Panther you went with. All right.
He likes to do that without it ever being explained. He's been doing this artwork for many years where he comes in and wears something and hopes no one asks, and then 4 people get what he was doing.
I'm not the guy for that, baby.
When one person tweet me like, were you doing this? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, it's so funny. I'm like, that's right.
When?
But to the point, right? Let's just assume, because the flag football players are making a lot of noise. Like, hey, they didn't want NFL players up in here. They said we worked hard to make the sport legitimate, and now at the cusp, we're going to take it away from us. Would you consider suiting up for our neighbors to the north?
For Canada?
Yeah, like if the flag football people had their way and say, no, this is our thing, Team USA is going straight flag football players, would you consider?
I commit the treason?
I'll go another way. Not just the treason of that. Hold on. Let me go another way, because I told the story recently.
Damn good question.
I think I'm going to ask you a better one.
Oh,
okay.
Well,
all right.
Dunning-Kruger.
I was going to say, it looks like a couple of us have Dunning-Kruger.
Well, but Dunning-Kruger is when you have an ability or the thought that you have a skill you don't have.
Yeah.
Asking questions.
Yeah, well, I would say flag football, but I digress. Continue.
Well, I thought it was all of the Olympics, though. That's why I accuse you. Like,
Yeah,
you don't have Dunning-Kruger for thinking you could be in the Olympics in flag football. I diagnosed you with Dunning-Kruger because I thought
you thought I was going to go in the 100-meter dash.
Which again,
Got it.
Total operator error from Dan there.
Thank you.
It was obvious. The rest of the world bad at flag football. We're good. Throw out 42-year-old Andrew Hawkins.
Right. Come on now.
Again, I feel like I can be forgiven for overestimating that he had more confidence
overestimate myself. Overestimating my overestimation.
I mean, that's pretty bold, dude. Would you play for another country if you were eligible?
I just asked that.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get to the answer.
No, but hold on.
I'm trying to get to the answer.
I've got the question. If you let me ask it and stopped.
It's a better question he's got, guys. Clear out.
I told you guys the story of when it is that I was introduced to Qatar or Qatar as a country. First time I saw it was at the Olympics. It was weightlifting, and Qatar was trying to launder all of the things that it was trying to launder by getting the Bulgarian weightlifters to represent their country. And those Bulgarian weightlifters all fled the Olympic Village with diarrhea because they were all steroiding. And so the steroid-addled Bulgarian lifters were representing that country.
Go on.
While cheating. The question to you is, if I could get you international fame as a flag football star, would you sell your soul to a country that has all sorts of human rights issues in exchange for that fame?
Is money attached to the fame?
Yes.
How much money?
Oil money.
Oil money, okay.
They take care of you.
I think it would be a discussion. No, I'm kidding. I would not sell my soul for, like, a discussion.
Counterpoint.
It would have to be a guaranteed contract.
There you go. Okay, guaranteed. We're good. Because as a counterpoint, this country going to have some human rights violations of its own that we don't like.
I think we've reached consensus back here. Worst question.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a...
Dunning-Kruger.
You threw in human rights. Just overly complicated.
It was such a fun
We were going to
hypothetical.
probably get a yes if you framed it another way.
He
But
would
I was
have
like,
gone to
human rights.
Canada.
No,
We need to be better.
This close to playing for the Canadian
We were on the
Olympic
verge of
flag
treason,
football
man.
team.
It's right there.
Because also
3
I-
years, that still might be
He played in
USA.
Canada.
Lost your
I
fastball.
played in Canada. I lived in Montreal.
They
It
could
would
give
be
him-
an easy. It would be a good story.
Absolutely.
Thus, the reason to make it a more difficult decision, because you chose the easy. Of course, I'll do the traitorous thing to
You
be in Canada.
didn't even give me a number. I'm a
I
businessman.
said oil
Dan.
money. I said
Oil money is, I don't.
You gotta put
I
some
need some
zeros
money.
on
Put
it.
some
Yeah,
zeros on that thing, man.
Would you line up for the Dominican Republic if they came?
They
like,
do
hey,
not
you
have
want to
the
be an
money.
Olympian?
They
Take
don't
a-
have.
Yeah, I definitely do the DR.
What's for like an all expenses paid trip? Or
Yeah,
what
like
are you doing it for?
a cruise for me and my family.
Well, because like you're working on whatever the sports version of the EGOT is, right?
Right. Yeah,
you,
that's-
you got a lot of interest.
If I can get an Olympic gold medal to add to that thing,
Oh my gosh.
you talk about Dunning-Kruger.
There's
Goodness
nothing like
gracious.
it. Hawk, I could tell you, someone who's won an Olympic gold medal. There's nothing
Yes,
like
there's
it.
nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Premium. I do think I can play in the Olympics, though. I went and watched some film. So after those comments came out from the flag football players, and they're great football players. Don't
Salute to
get me
them.
wrong. Salute to the USA national flag football team.
They're on the record saying that NFL guys wouldn't be better at what it is that they're doing, right?
Yeah, and I don't agree with that. But I think their sentiment is more we don't need them. And that is true because America is where football is born. We obviously are the experts at flag football, even for those who aren't as athletically and skill-wise gifted as the NFL players. But I liken it to the 3-on-3 team that came in next to last place in the Olympics. Now, there's a bunch of rules of why the NBA players aren't there, but I would even say go get former NBA players, and that team does a lot better in the Olympics than it did, which was led by Jimmy Fredette, who got hurt. But still, it's like, yeah, why are we messing around here?
Jimmer Fredette, that's a fine. But I'd like to
Sorry.
ask you, how about open tryouts? Right? Like, hey, you guys are better than us? Cool. Prove it.
Yeah.
Open competition.
I think that's where I'll thrive. I think that's
Oh, my God.
that's how I'll make the team.
Imagine him running
we
around.
do one-on-ones?
Come on.
Bro,
you think
come
a
on.
flag football player could keep up with this guy?
Bro, I'm telling you,
Like-
I'm not. I get it. I understand.
When's the last
guys.
time you tested your quick?
Yeah, ladder drills.
Last time I tested my quick, so like 3 weeks ago, there's a kid, high school kid, that I'm like, I think you have potential. I matched him up with another quarterback that's going to college to go take him and run routes so I can get a look at him. The other receiver didn't show up, so I jumped out there. And I'm like,
Like riding a bicycle, right?
I still got it.
Oh, my God.
Goddamn. Your boy still got the change of direction.
2011 all over
That was
again.
like 3 weeks ago, man.
Sort of the opposite thing happened with me where I'm going to shock you guys by telling you this. For the first time, and I'm going to say about 15 years, I played basketball the other day.
No way.
No way.
Yeah, just one-on-one against a 17-year-old.
Oh,
That
no.
was a bad idea, though.
But I did win,
Okay.
but
Was it their first time?
he was terrible, and so was I. Like, I did not have the experience that you had where I felt good about beating the 17-year-old. All I did was, I hope no one sees me and recognizes me playing the 17-year-old and sees how terrible I am now.
It's like, so you understand the rules, right? You take this ball, you got to keep dribbling. What dribbling is when you bounce it off the ground with one hand. If you put two, that's a penalty.
Hawk, you missed the first statement, which is, welcome to America.
On Memorial Day, I went to go see Mission Impossible. Now, my tradition is to get out of my car and sprint full speed to the
Yeah.
movie theater. I always
Okay.
do that any Mission Impossible movie. that
Your
I do.
tradition.
That is my tradition. For the last 6 movies, I've done that. Go to the theater, get out of my car, full sprint.
Do you videotape it? Like
No,
put it on social?
No,
It's
this is
just like a.
no. This is just for me.
It's
It's just for me.
ridiculous. That's a
Something to just
ridiculous thing.
I keep hoping that someone's going to jump in and we can have a nice little moment. Doesn't happen. Anyways, my asshole just fell out.
Okay.
I lost it. It fell on the floor. It's there in Tamiami if you want it.
If you want it.
How old are you?
39. Also
Oh,
my
no.
latest 30.
Latest
wow.
30. Yep, the last one.
Dan, I need some of the details of this basketball game. Are we at an outdoor court? Are you flop sweating? Who is the 17-year-old?
It was
How did you
outdoor.
come to play
It was
each other
out-
in basketball?
Outdoor?
It was
You're
outdoor.
mad.
Well, it wasn't this
In this
hot.
heat?
It was 3 weeks ago, and the heat
It's still
just got
May,
Same
brother.
day as Hawk.
Is it the court on the beach, or are we talking like a driveway court?
It's on the beach.
Oh, okay, so you got the breeze. It's still hot, bro.
No, it wasn't that hot. It was fine. The heat was not the problem. It was the game.
Okay. The moving around.
The moving around was
Who
a
challenged
problem.
who?
The age.
Picturing you out there with the ball in your arms.
Do you check it? Do you check it?
Yes.
Gotta
Dan
check
coming
it.
out with the throwing the ball like, hey, little ones, and he throws it hard at the kid. And
Sweatband and goggles, or just the sweatband?
Wristbands.
I'm going to guess that the kid actually asked you if you wanted to play one-on-one.
He did.
Of course.
Yes, I was just shooting. I was just
Yep.
there
Doing
to-
drills?
Come on, if you haven't played in 15 years, you're not gonna.
Yeah, you're not.
Great story
You're
for
not
this kid.
looking for that.
So hold
for
on.
that smoke.
Recognize you?
Hold on, you were already out there just getting some J's up?
Yes.
So you were warmed up.
Ball is life.
Ball is life. I mean, that's one thing we can all agree
What
on.
inspired that? Is that something you regularly do?
Was it your ball?
It was my ball. I like you guys have a lot of questions. One way to exercise that I enjoy is just sort of running full court, layups, jump shots, just running back and forth full court instead of just running, jogging empty. I'm throwing in some shots.
Like Kurt Russell in an Escape from L.A.? Just full court, run up, take a jumper.
That's a good workout. I'm going to be on Dan's
joyful.
side here. That's better than just jogging because that gets boring and you get mentally, you want to quit. You're like, this is over.
Little game.
You give yourself a little task, a little hoop. It's like I'm building skill as well as getting the run in.
Somebody missed an opportunity, though, to just catch that and put it on social media.
Well, I was afraid of that. Once I started shooting and missing, I became afraid of that. I checked when you asked the question, did he know who you were? I was looking for that recognition because if he did, I would not have been playing against him.
Yeah, but did you see his cell phone and where it was set up? Was it laying somewhere, potentially recording him?
He lost. I took him out like 11-4 or something.
Hold on. You think that he's not going to go back and edit it and just have his 4 buckets and you bricking over and over again?
There is no way to edit this, and they have not made the intelligence artificial enough to make any of this look good. I assure you. All of this would be embarrassing to me if anyone in the world saw it. But when I got home, Valerie, I beat a 17-year-old 11-4.
Oh man, what an ego stroke that must be.
Yeah,
How'd you do
your
it?
wife.
Low post? You went to work?
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Use that body. Use that body.
Little bow?
You left nothing to chance.
Chicken
you
wing. Little
a
chicken
child
wing.
into the block.
It's not a child. It's a grown teenager.
You gotta teach
these kids, man.
Like to pull the
Teach
chair.
against
Tony.
You sound like a prosecutor. It's a little black kid.
One of my
grown teenager.
Indicted for murder.
That's right.
Try him as an adult when you get in the
That's
post.
right. It was. I don't remember. It was many years ago, but I think his name was Tracy McGrady. The thing about all of it that is embarrassing to me is just whatever it is you were versus what you are. One of my favorite questions to ask on Highly Questionable was to ask athletes, when did you stop playing against your oldest son? And the answer's always the first time he beat me.
Yeah.
So LeBron's just going to keep going forever, huh?
Goodness gracious, man.
LeBron's going to be 84 still.
Do you understand that mindset as both an athlete who likes physical contact and someone you'd run up the score on a child?
I would. I have. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm above that. I think when it's hard, it's good. So I put that pressure on my kid to let him know, hey, there's no easy buckets out here.
How old is your oldest?
He's 13.
Okay, so I got a 14-year-old, and my 14-year-old has gotten close, and every single time you got to put it full throttle and all types of old man strength, just knocking him aside, put him up.
It's getting close because he's really coming into his athletic self. Like last year, I could beat him in a race still. I haven't raced him yet this year. It's on the docket, but
I've retired.
He's in the 11s now, and 11s in the 100. As a 13-year-old, it's pretty damn fast.
You just got to stop racing. You got to do other things.
I'm okay with losing. It's like a rite of passage. I would say I'm different, and I want my son to beat me. Like that's going to be a proud moment for me when my son just gives me the Usain Bolt look as we cross the finish line. I'm going to be like just a slow clap, teary-eyed, like you're ready.
Now, it's we've done this before, but it's been a few years. We did like the Fatrick chewing derivatives, but
Tracy McGravy.
Yeah, we've done that before, but it's been a couple of years. We got Paul Gorge already, so in the chat, if you want to name Dan as a basketball player, Shane Gillis-Alexander as a layup.
This is the one, Mike. We got to do new players, right? So let's make a rule. It's got to be players last 5 years since COVID.
Well, it can't be any more Dirk Nowitzki.
No.
It can't be any more Patrick Chewing.
Yeah, next gen.
2000 draft class and up.
Someone just said obese Toppin.
There you go. I like that.
Tyrese Halliburger.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're cooking right now. What else you got?
Hold on, man.
You like that?
Yes, obese Toppin. Yes, that's right. That's right. Obese Toppin is what they hit me with, and you threw your head back with laughter.
Oh my gosh, man.
I just looked to my left, and one of your teeth was sparkling and made a dinging sound at how much you were enjoying laughing at obese Toppin.
That is comedic genius, Dan, and you
each
gotta
one more.
applaud it.
The overriding point.
One more.
I cheated. He's pre-2020. Sorry.
But it's fresh.
It is fresh.
It's a good.
Each one more.
Oh, man.
Look at how happy he is. This is as happy as I've ever seen him. Speaking of which,
Tyler Yeatle.
That was just.
Waylon Brunson.
Waylon Brunson, I like that.
We haven't even gotten to the chat yet. These are just coming to us.
This is just off the dome in studio.
Ham Adebayo.
TJ McDonald's.
It's funny because he's fat.
It's a layup, too. That's a layup.
Way to go, chat.
Oh, man.
Hey, listeners, listen up, because I know that approaching this summer, you're probably as busy as I am, but also as desperate as I am to find some healthy meals that you can fit into those busy windows. Well, it's time to make this the best summer yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor Meals arrives fresh and ready to eat. It's perfect for any active lifestyle because with 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. In my most recent meals, I had the honey mustard chicken, I had that garlic herb salmon, and every side, every part of this meal was delicious. Honestly, at the end of it, I was just left wanting more because Factor's meals are that fresh, that delicious, and that nutritious. So get started at factormeals.com/Dan50off and use code Dan50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code Dan50off at factormeals.com/Dan50off for 50% off plus free shipping.
Howdy, listeners. It's Mike Ryan. That temperature, it's starting to turn up a little bit. Maybe you're going out on the boat. Maybe you're having a pool day. Maybe you're just hanging out in your backyard, your patio, and you're grilling. Oh, you're prepping the meats. You're looking at the family. You're enjoying your time with the friends. And guess what's in your hand? A Miller Lite. That's right. Miller time is the best time, especially when the temperature starts ticking up a little bit because you have a beer that's brewed for people like you and me, people who love their beer, and it cools your body down. I've been stocking the cooler with it for years, and for good reason. It's brewed for taste, only 96 calories, and 3.2 grams of carbs. This year, Miller Lite turns 50. That's 5 decades of cookouts, laughs, and ice-cold moments that never miss. The original light beer, and it's still my go-to. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Dan wouldn't understand this. He's busy running a content circus. But if you're actually running a business, then you know. Hiring the right people isn't just important, it's everything. And that's why LinkedIn Jobs is an absolute game changer for small business owners. You're juggling payroll, logistics, maybe even mopping the floors before you open. You don't have time for flaky resumes, ghosted interviews, or job boards that feel like a black hole. When it's time to hire, you need a partner who grinds just like you. LinkedIn? They don't sleep. You clock out, they clock in. They'll help you write the job post quickly and clearly. Promote it, you'll get 3 times more qualified applicants. Not a guess, real data. And once it's live, LinkedIn helps you amplify it by sharing it with your network. You can even add that hashtag hiring frame to your profile, which doubles the number of qualified candidates you're likely to see. This is built for business owners who care about getting it right. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/DLS. That's linkedin.com/DLS to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Dan Batard.
Yeah, it's not my favorite rejoin.
Context needs to be applied.
Going for a joke, and
I thought the context was applied.
We'd like to rip that out of context. I was going for a thing. Yeah. And
you're
I have a family.
You're gonna pretend here that you don't love Matthew Tkachuk more than you love anybody you've ever loved?
I don't love Matthew Tkachuk more than my daughter.
Stugotz.
Now it's pretty damn close.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Speaking of McDonald's, Hawkins is here to tell you that the chicken tender is wildly underrated.
Oh man, you haven't.
I'm skeptical.
No,
Why are you skeptical?
Are you talking about the McCrispy strips?
Oh my gosh.
Are you in on this?
I had one and it was bad. Not for me. It was not
What?
crispy.
I also same.
It was not. It's like we have a group chat. Like no one's had a good experience with this.
Oh,
You're the
wow.
first good experience. In fact, if you look at social media to McDonald's, whenever they talk about the McCrispy strips, they get just torched. Social media hates this thing. However, we'll say if it's just simply a vessel for the sauce that they made for this, that's fine. The sauce is great.
They got new sauces?
Oh yeah.
They got new sauces.
sauces for this
I
one.
just expected it to be like a different shaped chicken nugget.
That's
and
what
it
I think.
wasn't.
Everything
I think
in
just the fact
McDonald's.
that it was different was like, oh, okay, McDonald's. I see you shaking it up a bit, right? I see you trying to get in your bag a little bit. Somebody was in the lab cooking up something new for the new generation.
You remember the chicken selects, though, from like 15, 20 years ago?
Yeah, I remember
They were
the
actually
selects.
crispy.
Yeah.
These say crispy in the name, and my biggest problem with it is it wasn't crispy.
Mine was crispy.
Man, you got
Maybe
lucky.
they had been
He
sitting
likes
under the burner the whole time.
You got lucky because that is the overwhelming like feedback on this menu item is that
I'm a
it
fan.
says crispy in the name. It's not crispy.
Did you get it drive-through, delivery, or in-store?
Drive-through.
Did you eat it immediately?
Immediately. I know better. In fact, it was so not crispy that I'm like, I should let this sit.
Wow. Oh, that's bad. That's a McDonald's. Like, what McDonald's are you eating at?
That one, the one on
I love
117
it.
thing, great.
Okay,
but
that's
what
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 it
kind of
is.
follow-up
It's-
question
no,
is
but-
that?
That's a
no,
great.
no,
If you've been to the 117th one,
It's a
then the
great
117, they're not good.
It's a great one. I'll tell you
Terrible
why, Dan.
question.
Real
No.
McDonald's eaters know that's a great question.
There are good McDonald's and there's
Oh
bad
my
McDonald's.
God.
I got this. I got
absolutely, yeah.
absolutely.
Good locations
This is a
and
bad
bad
one.
locations.
This was a bad one.
Absolutely.
Of all people, I expect you to know this, Dan.
Absolutely. Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yeah, you can't get a name like Obese Toppin.
I believe that the question would generally be good, and I agree with your premise that there are good McDonald's and bad McDonald's. You asking on an international show for someone on the air to stop and give us the address to the McDonald's
Wild.
makes it a shitty question.
No, this one's bad. If you've been to this one on 117th, you know.
Right, but say it as, was this a good one or a bad one? You said, which one is that
Correct.
again?
Correct.
Which street is that on?
real-
I know
hookers
them
now.
all, bro. I am a. Do you know how much money I've dumped into McDonald's in my life?
The one by the Caballero Woodlawn.
Yes, of course.
It's a
Everyone
bad
knows
one.
you don't stop there, especially after 11 p.m.
They
for like the
haven't
late
even-
night menu.
They haven't even redone it.
Dude.
It still looks like a 1990s
Exactly.
ass McDonald's.
I miss those
It's
McDonald's.
the new franchise model that they have, man. It sucks. But anyway, go ahead.
It is fine that you feel all of these things and that you are the McDonald's expert that you say you are. I believe you. But the narcissism in you is a little bit breathtaking when you're the only one, when you get the answer to that, that will be entertained by the answer to that when we are entertaining more people around here than just you.
I want everyone in the audience to know not to go to that McDonald's. So it's like I'm giving information to our listeners. Like if you try the McChicken crispy chippity things, do not go
Way to
to
fight
that
through it.
location.
You're giving this information, though no one agrees with you on your assessment. Everyone is violently against what it is that you're saying. You're the only one saying that because you're talking about the same thing. It's not just a chicken tender. You're
Okay.
talking about a very specific thing that you've had recently that you're the only one here saying it's amazing while the others say it's not any good.
Because who needs validation? Is that a you thing? That's not a me thing.
Well, that is how
You
things
know what I'm
become
saying?
popular, though. That is, and so you're
Counterculture.
I'm trying to get you to
That's
argue on behalf of what is a contrary opinion, and you're telling me I'm a rebel, I'm a renegade. I don't think other things that other people think.
I'm giving my honest opinion. And for those that trust my opinion, as a McDonald's expert who have consumed way too many chicken nuggets and double cheeseburgers and triple cheeseburgers. You probably didn't even know they had a triple cheeseburger, did you?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Oh, I did.
Of course you did. I am telling you, you can trust another McDonald's connoisseur in that the McCrispy chicken strips at McDonald's are tasty. Take with that what you want.
At the good
Mike
McDonald's.
has his opinion. I'm trying to let him understand. Maybe try at another location, the one you picked.
Yeah, I knew what I was getting into at that location. It wasn't
Yes.
my choice. And
How are the fries?
they need salt. It's not a good
Okay,
location.
so that's-
It's a
yeah.
bad location.
Which one was it again?
All right, there's
Smoking
one way to
gun.
do this. Let's put out a poll and ask for people only to vote if they've had the McCrispy strips.
Yeah.
That way we don't have a tainted pool.
There
So
you go.
if only vote if you've had the McCrispy strips, good or bad.
As an eating experience, I would say there's very little that's going to soil an eating experience worse than I expected it to be crispy and it was soggy.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
Fred Van Eat.
Thikola Jokic.
Fed Van Eat would be better there.
Fed Van Eat is a good one. That is a.
Back to the hockey game last night, Roy. The Carolina Panthers, and this is a weird
Hurricanes.
thing. I did that again. The Carolina Hurricanes, and it's a weird thing to say, this time they were swept.
This one definitely felt more like a sweep. Actually, after this series, I kind of got what Brendamore said 2 years ago. Because that one didn't feel as much of a sweep, even though it was, as this one did. Because this one was way more of an ass
Are you guys with me on this team is better than last year's team? It may not win the championship, but it's better. It's deeper, therefore it is better.
Deeper usually does mean better. I would say the goalie's been way more consistent this year. Bob's probably had his best postseason so far as a Florida Panther. We'll find out. They could actually be better than last year and not lift the cup because Edmonton is better. Although
I think that's what's going to happen, actually.
The Hyman injury, even though Hyman's kind of like on a downward trajectory, certainly from where
he's hurt. He's out for the
last year.
season.
He's out for the season. I know. I was getting there.
Okay.
Yeah, I led with Hyman injury. He's not going to be there. That was a guy that in his past was a 50-goal scorer. So we'll see how that reshapes them. But man, a pissed off McDavid. They've done the suffering. They look like an absolute wagon this year. Ultimately, they have the weight of a nation on their shoulders, and they have a goalie situation that at any moment can turn on a dime in the bad direction. It'll be a great series if indeed that does happen. We'll find out tonight if Dallas can put up a fight at home.
Michael Porterhouse Jr.
The Carter Verhaeghe goal and the goal creation by Alexander Barkov, that's world class right there.
Roy, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you highlighted that play. That is going to go in the montage when Sasha Barkov gets his jersey retired here. That is such a number one. Holy God, is that a strong play? The strength that it takes for him to skate along the boards with Orlov, who's a really strong dude in his own right, move that puck along with one hand and the ice vision to make a perfect feed. That is one of those plays that it doesn't look super sterling when you're putting out the YouTube highlight package to dubstep, but that is a play that very few people in the world can make. And Alexander Barkov led by example. That is what you need from your captain. He's a different type of cat. He's not going to fight guys. He's not overly vocal, especially not on the ice. But he does stuff like that hockey players who have actually played the game know exactly how difficult it is to play the game like he does, and he's overly impressive.
Evan Mobile Order.
Now, keep in mind, Dmitry Orlov, he's going to have to look at that tape during the offseason and just...
You got to take him for a walk, dude. He got dog walked on that play. That was crazy.
And not just that, he was holding Barkov. That was a penalty that should have been called. He was holding Barkov, and then Barkov just used his edge and got out in front and able to find Verhaeghe.
Panthers are 25-2 in the playoffs since 2022 when Carter Verhaeghe scores a goal.
It's good to see him playing well. We were talking out there before the show, like how confused you must be if you just started watching the Florida Panthers for this postseason run. You probably would guess their goalie is the best player, and then after that, maybe after last night's game, Barkov, but try to rank the Florida Panthers from like 3 to 17. There's a different guy stepping up every shift.
This is what I want to ask you guys, and I want your expertise on before I go a little further here. I put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Does the highlight package have to come with dubstep? Also, answer this question for me. Do you think that if I made that Barkov statue, that play from last night, that many people would object? That as the play for your lifetime that you're going to remember during an emotional run when the Panthers are the fifth team in 50 years, okay, to make 3 straight. This is hard. I've talked to you before in basketball. Kevin Durant's Achilles blows out. Golden State can last a few years doing that. Then they have to be apart from each other. The Heat do it for a few years apart from each other. You saw how Jokic just ended, how the Celtics just ended. You go 3 or 4 years with these things. They're really hard. I think of the hockey playoffs as harder than basketball, harder on the body, harder in every single way, harder in the pressure because of how close everything is.
You had a poll like this on yesterday's show. I got really offended because the majority of the votes were like, no, the best athlete on the planet can't be a hockey player. What? In terms of athleticism and what they put their bodies through, what are we talking about?
This is the part that I am most worried about. And I know that too much of my analysis has just been, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of this. Because when things are random, and I got a bunch of 100-point teams in hockey, and I've seen great team, every President's Cup team loses, and I've seen goalies make all the results weird. This is what I'm worried about. Because I know Barkov is considered the best two-way player in the world. I'm worried that McDavid is about to show that this is why I'm an all-time great that will be remembered differently forever than Barkov will be, because this is what's demanded of greatness when it's as great as McDavid. You take out whoever the top guy is who was never supposed to be as good as you are at this sport. He's got the pain from last year. He is a physically overwhelming player, and I fear that he will be better at offense than Barkov is at all the things he's great at, even though I understand that Barkov is championship great, but Edmonton has a better player.
Victor Wendy's Yama.
Don't forget about Leon Draisaitl. They got two of the best players in the world.
But after that,
but then again, they did lose last year to the Florida Panthers in Game 7.
Yeah, Draisaitl's also in that conversation in terms of two-way players. But yeah, it'll be Barkov was better last year, although McDavid won the Conn Smythe as a losing player, as a losing forward. That's only the second time that's happened, right?
Let me do it this way with you guys. And I mean, let me speak something that is very specifically your basketball language.
Jello ball.
Why is that funny? And it's the literal name, but just the thought process of it being actual Jello.
Spelled differently.
Taco Fall. Good.
The way the Spurs came back after losing to the Ray Allen shot. The way the Spurs did that after losing that way. I can't imagine what Connor McDavid's mental life has been losing to that team that way when he's the best player and everyone knows he's the best player. And he's been living with that for 12 months. I fear that more than I fear anything in the sport.
No doubt. There's a guy that was writing letters to Sidney Crosby when he was 8 years old. He's the best player from the best hockey nation. He had the game-winning goal in a Four Nations, which was the best-on-best tournament, the first of its kind in 11 years. He's pissed off to the highest level of pissivity, to quote Chad Johnson.
That was stolen from Tim Hardaway.
He's really great. He's really great. And I know we do the Mick overrated stuff. The guy is just... He's on a different tier than Barkov. Barkov's amazing, incredible two-way player, and what Barkov can do is mitigate what Connor McDavid can do. But Connor McDavid's going to get his, and it might be too much. Edmonton looked really, really good this year.
I didn't want to see them in the final. Did not want to see
No, it's
them.
a one team. I'm like, we could be better than last year and still lose, and it's the only way that we do is if it's Edmonton.
Can you explain to me where we're at in the NHL playoffs in Mighty Ducks terms?
He's Banks.
Oh, shit.
Big Mac Biombo.
You should have led with that.
But he's healthy.
Healthy Banks?
He's healthy Banks.
Oh,
and mad and vengeful.
No arm injury?
Vengeful.
No arm injury.
Oh, my God.
He's by himself in his driveway all summer long.
Yeah, but it's weird. Now Evan Rodriguez is a Bash brother all of a sudden. I don't know what's happening.
It's crazy how much more this makes sense to me now.
Jeremy, can you do me the favor, please, of finding the Tim Hardaway quote? He said it of the New York Knicks, and he said he was pissed off to the highest degree of pissed-offivity, but there was more to the quote than that. I don't know why Mike credited Chad Johnson on that one.
He said it on Hard Knocks. Pissed off to the highest level of pissivity.
Tim Hardy's way. It's Carl's Jr. in some places in the country, but here it's Hardy's, I believe.
That's like rallies and checkers situation.
Mm-hmm.
Dan wouldn't understand this. He's busy running a content circus. But if you're actually running a business, then you know. Hiring the right people isn't just important, it's everything. And that's why LinkedIn Jobs is an absolute game changer for small business owners. You're juggling payroll, logistics, maybe even mopping the floors before you open. You don't have time for flaky resumes, ghosted interviews, or job boards that feel like a black hole. When it's time to hire, you need a partner who grinds just like you. LinkedIn? They don't sleep. You clock out, they clock in. They'll help you write the job post quickly and clearly. Promote it, you'll get 3 times more qualified applicants. Not a guess, real data. And once it's live, LinkedIn helps you amplify it by sharing it with your network. You can even add that hashtag hiring frame to your profile, which doubles the number of qualified candidates you're likely to see. This is built for business owners who care about getting it right. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/DLS. That's linkedin.com/DLS to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Howdy, listeners. It's Mike Ryan. That temperature, it's starting to turn up a little bit. Maybe you're going out on the boat. Maybe you're having a pool day. Maybe you're just hanging out in your backyard, your patio, and you're grilling. Oh, you're prepping the meats. You're looking at the family. You're enjoying your time with the friends. And guess what's in your hand? A Miller Lite. That's right. Miller time is the best time, especially when the temperature starts ticking up a little bit because you have a beer that's brewed for people like you and me, people who love their beer, and it cools your body down. I've been stocking the cooler with it for years, and for good reason. It's brewed for taste, only 96 calories, and 3.2 grams of carbs. This year, Miller Lite turns 50. That's 5 decades of cookouts, laughs, and ice-cold moments that never miss. The original light beer, and it's still my go-to. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.